Guide dogs at the mall. This is Two Blind Crew. Yeah. Two Blind Crew. Two Blind Crew.
Daddy, what's wrong with you?
Oh boy, it's time for Guide Dogs at the Mall. This is Two Blind Crew. I am Jeff.
And I am Greg. Hello, welcome.
We thought it would be fun. We're sitting here. There's so many things to talk about that are funny, so many struggles we could talk about, so many inspiring things. And quite frankly, I don't know if it's the coffee this morning, but we're just in funny mode today. So we're recording a couple of these funny ones. So
Hopefully they're funny.
if you enjoy these funny things, don't get too excited. They're not all going to be funny. Or if you're thinking this is getting old already, don't worry. The next one will probably be serious. But we just thought we were sharing some funny guide dog moments because it's not all, inspiring and uplifting. And some of it's just downright funny and embarrassing. So,
Embarrassing.
I don't know. Why don't you go first, Mr. Greg, and share your guide dog story that you...
Well, Pete. We were talking about the mall earlier, and when you go to guide dog school, you're there for like 6 weeks, and 1 or 2 of the days, if not more, were spent at the was it Sarasota or Tampa?
Sarasota Square Mall. We went to Tampa too, but not to the mall.
Yeah,
It
well,
was Sarasota.
in Sarasota at the mall. So you got to learn these, to walk. The dog likes to stay on the left, so you kind of walk clockwise, and you go around the mall and around the mall. And how this works is there's
Lots of obstacles.
lot. Oh my! Well, there was one huge pole that I got to know really well one time. I just walked right into one of the support towers, and
And he never let Bob forget it.
no, that was the first lesson that the guide dog trainer told me about. So anyway, he went about 6 feet from it the second trip, but. That mall, malls in general just scare me even when I could see. But the thing is, the guide dog trainer's behind you about 10 feet, and you're walking through this mall, and you're learning because it's a brand new experience. You have to kind of hear, and you feel the carpet, and you listen for all the noises, and it's kind of freaky when you can't see anything. So Bob and I are walking, and I'm feeling real confident. I'm really getting it on. I'm just walking and going, and things are good. And all of a sudden, I feel Bob turn left. And he goes into the store, and a minute later, I hear footsteps, and Jonathan runs up behind me and says, "Greg, did you know that you left the mall?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I could tell." And he said, "Do you know where we are?" I said, "Well, no." Well, we're in Victoria's Secret, man. We got to get out of here. And I just start laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Bob's a ladies' man.
Yeah, Bob likes the girls. And so we finished the day, and it got a lot of chuckles. But I finally figured out what happened. And it was the trainer, the guide dog puppy raiser. When you get a guide dog, it has been in somebody's house who volunteered to raise the dog, which, by the way, is something they really need right now. You get a puppy when it's 10 weeks, and you keep it for a year. So Bob's puppy raiser, sorry about the whistle there.
Time to get that toothpick.
Yeah, that's a whole nother episode.
All I want for Christmas.
Another tooth. Oh, jeez. We digress.
We do that good though.
Yeah. So I find out you get these dogs, and he was raised by this girl. Well, and at the end of the at the guide dog school, you have this day where it's called Puppy Raiser Day. And the people that raise the dog come and meet the people that they worked so hard for at the guide dog's going to this blind individual. So I was talking to this young lady. She was in her early 20s and real sweet girl. And I couldn't figure out why 2 of the guys that were in the class were at my table instead of being at their table. And it turns out that this girl was very pretty, and she was real tall, just a really nice girl. And so it turns out from my discussion with her that she worked in that mall, and she did facials and worked in a store there, and apparently shopped there as well. Guide dogs are creatures of habit, so when they're walking, they'll go where they're used to. But man, was it embarrassing.
He's used to going into Victoria's Secret.
Yeah.
How do you like that? Good old Bob.
Good old Bob.
Who knew?
It's Bob.
You know, you talked about the hazards and obstacles of malls, and my biggest hazard used to be this ketogenic diet and 41 pounds lost and moving in that direction still. Not so much a problem now, but man, it's navigating away from those hot, fresh pretzels, you know, the one with the sugar and the cinnamon.
Right.
Auntie Anne's, you can sponsor the next show.
Ooh, baby.
But we also had a situation with my guide dog at the Sarasota Mall. We had 9 in our class. I was one of 9 people getting a dog in that round of classes. I think we're class number 222, if I remember correctly. And so we get outside, we get off the little bus thing that they had, and you know we're in a grassy area. The grassy knoll.
The grassy knoll.
I knew you were gonna say
Yonder
something
grassy
there.
meadow.
So we're in the knoll, and everyone's getting their dogs to relieve themselves. My dog is kind of stubborn, and she likes to fake it a lot. Like, she'll just sit down and act like she's peeing, but she's not, you know, not fooling anybody anymore. I'm on to her, man. But out there forever, everybody else has proceeded on into the mall. It's me and one of the trainers out there. I'm trying to get her to go. Nothing. No success. Just doesn't want to go. Like, all right, she ain't got to go. She don't got to go. We agreed that I had done the best I could. Time to go in. We went in. We sat down. We had a little something to eat. And then it was time to get at it. Start navigating this great, big, huge mall in Sarasota. And we're walking along, and I'm a talker. I don't know if you've noticed.
You are?
Me, but yes, I'm just running my mouth all the time. And I'm walking. I got my dog on my left, and the trainer's to the right of me, and a little behind me, and we're kind of jabber-jawing on the way. And all of a sudden, it occurred to me, why is she walking so slow? I'm like dragging her. And I said it out loud. I'm like, why is she walking so slow? And all of a sudden, he turns around. Oh, no. He made an exclamation. He didn't cuss or nothing, but it was pretty close. And so I stopped, and apparently my dog had been leaving the trail of shame. Not to be confused with the trail of tears. That was another mall visit. But yeah, apparently is very adept, very acrobatic, just not very fast at the walking and pooping thing.
Oh, gosh.
So I had to stay there in shame while the trainer went into my backpack and grabbed some supplies and cleaned up this horrible, horrible trail of shame.
Oh,
like I
my.
said. And ever since then, I'm horrified of malls. And she reinforced that fear one time locally here at the mall.
Oh, my.
We basically walked in. It wasn't in like the main concourse area like it was in Sarasota up here.
It was in the shoe department.
I don't remember what store it was, and I don't even want to say. Even if I did know, I wouldn't say it because they'd probably be like, "That's the guy." I don't know why I just went into my Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd. That's the guy.
Oh, my gosh.
But it was like a department store, and we walked in. You know, when you walk in off the street, you know, like you're in like menswear or women's wear or whatever. Perfumes. And apparently, right there, it was like carpeted area. I was so mortified. I had my son. I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" We just turned around and walked out.
Oh, my.
It was horrible.
I got thrown out of a city park here in town one day because of that. I think Bob always, after I walk a little bit, I guess that's just loosens him up, and I don't know what.
You gotta put him on the treadmill before we go anywhere.
Oh my gosh! I was walking on this path. It was, and he at least he told me he had to go this time. But when you get that signal, you don't have much time. So I was like, "Holy moly!" So I pulled off of the walking path about a foot, and I started taking his harness off. And before I got the harness off, man, it was a mess. And about that time, about 20 feet behind me, this guy, and I was with somebody else, he says, "Hey, can't y'all read? There's a sign. The dogs don't poop there. They go up there. What's wrong with you two guys?" And I guess he didn't see me taking the harness off of the dog. And it made me really angry. I didn't say anything. I kept my mouth shut, but it really embarrassed the guy that was with me. He's like, I know. I'm sorry. So then I put his harness on, whipped out the old bag, picked it up. I mean, I wasn't a foot off of the trail. It really wasn't going to hurt anything. But,
All right.
it's another one of those things where people get freaked out. They don't understand that you can't. Things always don't work out.
Italian. You can't mess with an Italian.
I know an Italian guy. I gotta watch out for. But I've always waited for that moment when somebody was going to say, "Hey, can you not read the sign?" But it happens. So
is it in Braille?
Yeah, my bucket list is getting full.
Bucket list is getting full.
Yeah.
So is the bucket. I guess my last one, and it's not really a mall thing, but it is kind of a establishment thing. We went to get my hair cut at one of the real expensive places. They charge like $6 on sale.
Oh my!
I wear a hat most of the time to hide my due.
Did you take that off to get your hair cut?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really. I thought that's why you got it half price.
Once per quarter, whether I need it or not, we trim it up. But no, we go into this place, and the little lobby, reception area, whatever you want to call it, is all packed. And I'm sitting there with my family, wife, 2 kids, and the dog. And God bless her heart, the lady that drew the short straw that day and had to cut my hair must have just been looking at something that had my name and walking out and opened her eye, looked up from the paper right after she said my name and sees the dog, because this is what I hear. Jeffrey, oh, how cute. And of course, I don't skip a beat. And I'm like, oh, come on, I'm not that cute. And I naturally got quite the rise out of everybody. It was open mic night at the haircut salon, and boy, she was embarrassed, but I had a little fun. Can't resist sometimes. But dogs are great, man, and thank God I'm not looking. I'm married, very happy, but I would imagine if there's a blind fella or blind gal out there.
Hey.
It probably works better for the blind men that if you have trouble meeting someone,
get a dog.
Get a guide dog,
get blind.
Yeah.
The lady told me that whenever she came up to fit me for my dog, she said, "Greg, I hate to tell you this," and I was single at the time. She said, "But that stick just ain't sexy." And I just the stick, my cane, the stick is just not sexy. You need this dog. And I was like,
Kenny
really?
Chesney do a song like that? You think my white cane sucks?
She think my
maybe
cane.
It was a tractor. I don't know.
Oh well.
Well, we've gone way too far with this.
We better get out of here
because losing subscribers as we speak. We better ditch out. We just
that was fun.
Have fun. You gotta live life, man. Life is too depressing. Things are too scary out there. You know what?
It is Halloween.
Even Solomon said that laughter doeth the heart good like a medicine, and Greg and I just like to have a little extra every once in a while. So,
yeah, buddy.
It's been
fun.
Statement?
Oh man, laughter. That's all it's about for me. It makes me happy.
All right. Well, on behalf of Greg and the Two Blind Crew and King Solomon, until next time, God bless.
Thanks for spending time with us at Two Blind Crew. On behalf of my daddy Jeff and Greg Greg McLaughlin, be sure to stop by our website, twoblindcrew.com. Follow us on Twitter at twoblindcrew. And like us on Facebook. See you next time. Can I have my money now? I'm serious. I want my money now. Mom!